Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. We remember Doug, so you don't have to remember Doug. We're back with another new light. We should have bought two, but whatever. So, today we watched Doug Season 7. So Aiden, what is the first film on the roster for Doug Season 7?
Our best episode of Nostalgia Critic Season 7 is Monster Squad. Monster Squad is unique because it was like number 1 on the top 11 list that he made its own video, which it probably didn't deserve. And throughout the Monster Squad episode, Doug has a group of people, including Malcolm and etc. people, Rob, there as the Token Squad.
Token Troop has just begun! Yeah!
There's a couple funny jokes, the racist ones.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, he wears a Confederate hat through like most of this movie.
Was this a thing in the 80s?
No.
The ones where Doug jokes about the Confederacy and the South rising again made me laugh.
The South will rise again.
Well, without further ado...
And outside of that, it was a little bit interesting because Monster Squad sounds kind of cool. I'd probably watch it, but it was a dog episode,
It's
so
like
it
the
wasn't that
Goonies
good.
with Universal Monsters, kind of cool. Next is the Lorax. We liked this one because it's an actual analysis. Talks about how the movie fucks up the book. He kind of talks about the irony and consumerism for this movie about about this book. That's basically an environmental lesson with strong anti-consumerism ties. So there is an irony there. Although I will argue that while the Lorax movie covers a lot of consumerism, isn't it kind of consumerism that they sell the Lorax book to this day and cut down trees to make it? There's kind of an irony there. But that said, it was a decent analysis.
It's also the first episode that features Malcolm's favorite famous character, Black Willy Wonka.
Black Willy Wonka?
That's right, it was me all along.
Oh yeah, it is. Oh, and the fangirl. The fangirl shows up for the first time in this one too.
Yeah, I think so.
She's like, oh, Dad, I love you. Whatever.
Number 3 is Face Off. It's a pretty decent episode. Face Off is a fun movie to roast. I've seen it a couple times. It was supposed to be the goodbye episode for Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel.
The girl that Tamara replaced.
Rachel.
Rachel. And apparently Doug, they had an episode filmed as a goodbye episode, and then Doug deleted it, and so she had to film a cameo from her house.
Okay, so this episode is semi-based on a true story. Malcolm really was killed by a gummy bear. No. This was Rachel's last episode, as she has gone back to California. Some opportunities have opened up for her there. But here's the thing that also is kind of true, is that actually we did shoot this great big exit episode that actually did tie into the review, and it was really big, and it also introduced the new actress coming in to take Rachel's place, but... sadly, the thing that's also true about it is that it was deleted by yours truly, and I feel awful about that.
I don't know how Doug managed to delete an entire episode of Nostalgia Critic off his computer, but it happens,
Well,
I guess.
he said the goodbye segment was filmed with the Christmas episodes, and he deleted the Christmas folder, which is still a baffling thing. The fact that he not only deleted it, but emptied the recycle bin before he realized what happened, is a little funny, but whatever.
There's also a joke where he mocks the kid for losing his parents, which was kind of funny, but overall it's one of the top tiers this season, but...
Next is the Disney Afternoon. He basically has a retrospective about the time block Disney Afternoon, reviews a couple of the series, talks about it. Somewhat interesting. It's kind of cool, kind of before my time, but interesting slightly nonetheless, and it's something Doug is actually passionate for, which isn't always the case with things he reviews on the channel.
Yeah, it's always nice to see him care a little bit.
Doug
spends the whole episode beating the shit out of Malcolm and giving him black eyes and stuff.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward. Number 5. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. This one was a little better for us because we both actually seen this TV movie thing. A lot of the stuff he reviews, especially Christmas stuff, is like some Hungarian film he saw in 1987 on NBC.
Yeah, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer used to play like on Cartoon Network like 20 times a year on Christmas. So
Yeah.
I've definitely seen this movie like multiple times.
The episode itself isn't bad, but the ending is pretty awful where Doug is in like Christmas clown makeup and sings a really awful song.
Like
I'll
a
just
new
put a
metal
clip here.
Christmas song.
It'll scare the shit out of you, but it's only getting bigger every year. Cause it's snowing, I love shopping, and I fucking love Christmas.
Yeah, Joker T Christmas.
Yeah. Pretty embarrassing.
And his song segment has like this part where it flashes green and red really fast. And he was like, oh shit, that could give someone a seizure. So he put a seizure warning at the start of the episode. And he misspelled, he was trying to write viewer discretion advised, and he accidentally wrote viewer discretion advised. Which is embarrassing.
That was kind of funny. Alright, next we have Food Fight. It's a decent episode, but the end skit's kind of long. That's what we have written. I don't remember what the end skit was. What was the end skit for this one? It was long.
There's a clip.
It was long. There's a clip.
Also need way more fart jokes. Lots of more fart jokes. This is gonna be a glitter for the food fighter tour.
For hell's motherfucking hard ice stab at thee!
Wait a minute.
It is done.
Number 7 is Ghost Rider. At the start of the month, Doug decided to do Nick Cage month, which is why Face Off and Ghost Rider and a couple other movies are on this list. Ghost Rider is a pretty boring movie if you've seen it. I've seen it on FX like once, like 15 years ago.
I saw it a bunch on FX like 15 years ago.
Boring movies are harder to roast. He kind of overplays the Nick Cage joke where he'll do everything in like a Nick Cage voice. It's fine.
Next we have Ghost Dad, another ghost film. This one stars Bill Cosby. I didn't remember this review at all. Apparently, it's pretty dull but not awful. And there's a Dorothy skit that's a little bad.
Who the fuck is turned on by sexy Dorothy?
I didn't make up the nonsensical rules of the afterlife. I just know that if you two stop doing that, I'll disappear, the review will be over, and both of you will be out of a job. Got it?
This is a bunch of bullshit.
Up, in your Dorothy voice.
Golly gee, Mr. Critic, this sure is a lot of bullshit.
It's but a small price to pay to be in the world of the living.
Yeah, Tamara becomes Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. Wicker Man from 2006, the remake one with Nick Cage. As you can tell, is another Nick Cage month thing. Tamara plays the fangirl character in this one. The fangirl character's in a lot of episodes this season. Apparently, probably Tamara's favorite or maybe Doug's favorite. Because that character comes back and back and back.
Well, that character just sucks Doug's dick the entire time. That's why Doug likes it. He's like, the fangirl's in love with me.
Yeah, and like a lot of Doug episodes, it ends a little long with an end skit where he hires Tamara to be a part of the Nostalgia Critic crew and like chases her down to a bar and...
Fucking obsessed nut job I've ever seen in my entire life, and I am gonna do what needs to be done about it. You wanna come work for me? My views always seem to go up whenever I'm in pain.
kind of drags out, and there's like one segment in there where there's like a minute and a half straight of him naming the funniest Nick Cage bear puns that's pretty embarrassing.
Waka waka whore. Papa Bear says this bitch is too conscious. Bernstein family says hi.
But it's not that bad. It gets worse.
Next we have Small Soldiers. Doug introduces Devil Boner.
Greetings, friends. I am Lady Love Embrace, your terrifying villain for the evening.
And I, Devil Boner, your obvious hero here to save the day.
Oh dear, my twittering birds of evil are no match for your machine gun of peace.
Yeah, whatever. Blow up or something. Put me on a stereo box.
Who's this new character? If you're familiar with Doug in the lolcow community, you've definitely seen pictures of Devil Boner.
Yeah, Devil Boner is the infamous spiky black-haired version of Doug from the Deadpool 2 review, which I know was pretty popular. I think he's also in Mad Max.
Well, the grandma got run over by a reindeer video, that new metal song he does at the end, he basically plays Christmas Devil Boner.
Yeah, more or
But
less.
it's just like insane clown character, I suppose. Otherwise, you know, it's just a review. Small Soldiers wasn't too bad.
Forest Warrior is a Chuck Norris film for people who haven't heard of it. I hadn't. This episode features the infamous Film Brain, who is Doug but British and worse.
Hello, critic.
Oh, hi, Phil Brain.
That's his
Yeah.
character.
I mean, honestly, we're at a point where it's not like the early seasons where the cameos bother us that much.
Yeah, we used to
Yeah.
knock things down for having cameos, but now they become infrequent and therefore far
I feel
less
like
notable.
the people that Doug works with at least got better at fucking doing cameos partially. So,
Yeah, he integrates them better too.
yeah, it's not like the old days where it's like him and Linkara sitting side by side, cheek to cheek.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Although it is a little awkward that Doug has like super high quality cameras and Film Brain's filming on like his fucking
yeah,
Nokia
I
track
don't know
phone.
how fucking Film Brand still has such a shit camera in 20 whatever
2014ish.
14, 15, whenever this was made. Well, last season I meant. Oh wait, yeah, I meant it was 2013. But yeah, like mid 2014, 2015, even early 2015 possibly. And Film Brain's dumbass still has like the shittiest camera on planet Earth.
And he loses his hair. Forest Warrior's main joke is that
Chuck
Norris apparently said that the Boy Scouts shouldn't allow gay kids or something. And so they spend the whole episode just being like, Chuck Norris wants to get in men.
He just wants every man to be like Chuck Norris, right? So, our new slogan should be, Chuck Norris wants to put himself in every man.
Over and over,
Yeah,
and it's not funny.
They're like, Chuck Norris isn't a homophobe, he just wants to get in men.
He wants a piece of him in men or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
just gay jokes. Yay. Next we have Maximum Overdrive. It's a pretty dull episode, and Malcolm plays Needlehead from the Hellraiser, but with pencils.
Heyo. There's a reason the guns aren't alive.
The thing that I find significant about this video, Doug likes Maximum Overdrive, but he also roasts it, which is to be pretty expected at this point. It is kind of interesting. Ryan Hollinger did Maximum Overdrive better. He did a recent video on car movies.
Yeah, he
You
did.
should check that out.
A Christmas Story 2. Tamara plays the fangirl character again, and Malcolm plays a character who was introduced in Princess Diaries 2, who's like the fangirl character's mercenary friend or something. I don't understand the relationship of the two characters.
What are you?
Adoring Christmas, as you should be.
We just don't want you to lose the holiday spirit, critic.
And the two of them sing Christmas carols. Doug talks about how bad movies make him hate the holidays, but then he learns the true meaning of Christmas, and it's a lot of skits and not a lot of talking about the crappy, boring.
Yeah, I mean the movie
Cash
looks
grab.
horrible, but yeah. Next is Blues Brothers 2000, another pointless sequel Doug talks about. These usually kind of get my hopes up, where you're like, ooh, that's a movie I've seen before, but it has a horrible cash grab sequel I've never been dumb enough to watch. And then you watch it, and Doug's just like, this is the same jokes as before, but now there's a kid instead of John Belushi.
Well, the problem is The fucking
There's nothing to talk about.
the boring cash grab sequels are all just like
Watered
cheap,
down
low budget
versions
cash
of the
grabs.
original. It's
So
like,
all
oh,
they can
this
do
was
is
in
be
the
like,
original, but now it's
this
not
is
done
the
as
original
well.
but worse, and it's like, yeah, obviously, but
Right.
there's nothing funny in it because it's just the original.
He did
but
kind of
worse.
reflect on the Blues Brothers and how he appreciated the original film.
Yeah, especially
and
since
how
he's
it
from
kind of-
Chicago, which is
Right. He's like, this is a Chicago treasure. Or some shit. I don't know how Doug talks, but he was talking shit about it. Yeah, that's basically it.
15 is Swan Princess, which is some knockoff Disney.
Yeah,
Some
it's
Disney
Warner
knockoff
Brothers' answer to 90s Disney movies, basically.
It's pretty meh. There's not a lot to it. We use this episode as a baseline, kind of like our Timothy Green from last season, to just
Basically.
put things higher or lower than it, because it's just the most generic thing on the list.
Yeah, Swan Princess has the early Doug vibes to it, kind of.
Yeah, it really does.
It's
Not in a
just
good
like
way.
just like 80s animated movie that wasn't very good. No one remembers it, but Doug saw it, and now Doug's gonna talk about it because he saw it back in the 80s. Next is the Care Bear Nutcracker. My criticisms or talking points of the Swan Princess video really pulled through here. Again, it's just like Doug talks about an animated film that's not very exciting from the 80s that nobody cares about, and it's before my time, so I've never seen it, so it's just kind of a boring animated movie where Doug doesn't have much material to talk about. It's the same issue we see with like the first 4 or 5 seasons of Nostalgia Critic that make him a real fucking slog. It's just nothing to talk about. So yeah.
Number 17 is the top 11 best Avatar episodes with Dante Bosco. Dante Bosco is the voice actor for Zuko on Avatar The Last Airbender. The episode is half good. If it wasn't for the skits, this one would be higher, because he gets the voice actor, he discusses something he's interested in that he likes, highlights some good episodes. The problem is Dante Bosco, for some reason, is brought in to LARP as Zuko, and they constantly cut away to these cringeworthy skits of Dante Bosco yelling at Doug.
So, sit back and enjoy the top 11.
What the fuck?
Dante Bosco?
You have dishonored the franchise and so have dishonored me. The time has come to reclaim my honor. You dishonorably dishonored me with my honorably honoring my honorable honor.
And at first it's just like normal, and then somehow they end up in a fucking Barnes & Noble, like a real fucking Barnes & Noble.
There's got to be something connected to firebending around here.
And they're like running around the aisles in the Barnes & Noble and kicking each other, and it's all pretty drawn out and embarrassing. Especially because he got like an actual guest on and just used him to film that.
I mean, I guess he was doing like a book reading at that Barnes & Noble for charity letter or something, or talking about classic films. They mentioned that in the Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer video, so I assume that's why he had access to it. Truthfully, I thought his takes were interesting on Avatar in it. At least there was that bright side.
Yeah.
Where he actually had things to say about these episodes that were interesting.
The list itself is good, it's just that the skits are very awful.
The problem is that there's too many skits. That's usually the problem. Like, if there were like half the runtime of the skits, but I don't need to sit through 15 minutes of clips for a top 10 Avatar list just because you have the guy. Just like, you know, maybe do a couple skits and I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. I give skits a lot more of a slide than I used to, because they have much better production value than in early seasons, but
yeah.
But a lot of times it's like you still gotta like show restraint. A level of skits is fine, you know, maybe if like once or twice during the review he's chasing you around doing firebending or whatever. I wouldn't dock you, but it's just too fucking much. Next, we have overlooked Christmas specials. I liked this kind of in the way that he takes his top 11 format more or less, but he just does it with like a few and calls it a video essay. So it's like 4 or 5 specials or something that he talks about. He has things to say. See, the problem with like the top 11 list is it's kind of dated.
Yeah, and the bottom
like as
6
much,
or 7 are just filler.
Yeah, like as much as I like to shit on top 10 listicle YouTube channels like Watch Mojo or whatever, the thing, they kind of have like an updated format where Doug's is still very early YouTube, where it's like play an overly long clip between each one. As you play the number, I have to do top 11 because that's my shtick.
Well, Doug's are
just talk about like 5 or 6 things that you find interesting for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna find it a lot more interesting than, oh well, I have to do 11, because that's Doug's issue with his top 11 list. Is it's like
Doug's lists are worse than the average ones too, because he has an intro, and then he has the first number introduced with an extra long like musical piece or whatever, screaming or whatever he's using as the transition.
Right, and then
it's
he
clip.
plays
He talks about it for 30 seconds, clip, and then there's a shortened version of the transition every time, but sometimes that shortened version's still like 15 seconds long
when
of like screeching.
His top 11 lists are usually like 20 to 30 minutes. They're usually about normal Nostalgia Critic episode length. The problem is about a third of the episode is filled up with random shit. Like 3 or 4 of the entries are just fucking filler because he needs to hit that runtime. It's just boring. Where this just kind of, he doesn't worry about making a top 11 list. He's like, these are like 5 specials I like, and he talks about each one for 2 or 3 minutes and then moves on. He just says what he has to say and moves on. That's why every top 10 list we've made on this channel has just been a massive shitpost, because top 10 lists are the most outdated bullshit. And honestly, I can give Watch Mojo all the shit in the world, because most of their opinions are just fucking fan-sourced, find the least offensive options, and have some random girl read 5 of these lists a day and have our sweatshop editors throw it out. Not respecting Watch Mojo, but Watch Mojo perfected the fucking format to the point where it's like, kind of makes these old top 10 lists look like shit.
Also, despite the fact that he made a whole video on Arthur Christmas last year, he brings it up again the previous year.
He only talked about it for like a minute though.
It was mostly brought up as a joke.
I don't even think it was mostly a joke. I think he's just like, remember this, check this out. Like, he really wants us to watch fucking Arthur Christmas.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool.
Number 19 is Rise of the Commercials. These ones are real make and break on the quality of the commercials, and this one just does not have the commercial quality, unfortunately.
Right. You get the funny commercials, you get a funny episode.
Because last season we liked the one because he had some funny commercials, and this one he found a commercial where they just say the word douche. Not like calling someone a douche, but like
600 fucking tampon ads, and he's like, "Oh, a douche."
The actual
that was a thing in the 80s, apparently.
The actual like purchasable item, a douche, and he just plays douche over and over again, and then laughs, and then plays douche and laughs.
No more vinegar and water douches for me. But when it comes to the douche they use most, sure, that's why I douche.
And he has a couple pedo jokes at the end, but the whole lineup of commercials is just kind of bleh.
I don't even remember what the pedo jokes in this one were.
There's no Freedom Waffles.
Oh, yeah. Next we got Blood Rain. Linkara and Spoonie show up. The movie itself was kind of funny. It's another, what's that fucking guy's name? Len Win. Uwe Boll. I don't know, I said Len Win. Uwe Boll movie. So there was some funny material to roast, so it was okay. But Linkara and Spoonie show up.
The infamous
Definitely
scene
wasn't
where Linkara's running and then Spoonie's
See,
falling.
I don't think that's actually from this.
I don't think it is. The Linkara running is...
I think that's actually part of like his intro or something for a while, or like something. Korra and Spoonie. Not Spoonie's best video. He doesn't really elevate it to a level I would expect. He's kind of just there and spews his Doug one-liners because he had to show up for the cameo. When Kara's there,
Cinema Snob briefly appears.
Yeah, Cinema Snob briefly appears. It kind of just feels like they did an Uwe Boll fucking crossover before, so we have to get Spoonie and Linkara out again. That's what it felt like to me. It wasn't that bad. They did like a Three Stooges joke, which was kind of cringe.
Yeah, you knucklehead!
Whatever. It was fucking whatever.
21 is The Purge. Film Brain is also in this one.
Anything else?
No, I'm just allowing my scary performance to sink in.
Fine.
Toodaloo, critic.
The joke in this one is that Film Brain had never been in an actual Nostalgia Critic episode before this one. The other one he appears in this season came after. And
so he's doing like
he does the purge thing. He's outside the house and he wants to get let in, and it's a little embarrassing. And then Doug's conclusion about the purge is that it wasn't exploitative enough. Like he wanted to see people's heads getting fucking mashed into paste or something in the purge, or like rape or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know what Doug was going for with this whole video. Next we have Jurassic Park 3. It was basically like the other Jurassic Park movies. He's like, the dinosaur effects are cool, but the rest of the movie is shitty. But he didn't end up liking this one like the first one. The thing that makes this a special treat to watch is in place of motherfucking T-Rex, which has a brief cameo, this time he has some joke where the dinosaur says Alan like 600 times, so like every 2 seconds you have to hear Alan! And he, there was one time that was particularly bad where he's like, what? My mom is dead? Or something like that. And he's like, what was the last words? And then it's like a 2.5 minute build up. And then he's just like, Alan! And then Doug's like, oh god damn it! Or something, and it's like...
Hello?
Hello, is this Nostalgia Critic?
Yeah?
This is the St. Joseph Hospital. I regret to inform you that your mother has just passed away.
What?
Yes, she died last night peacefully in her sleep.
God, I didn't know she was sick.
She wanted to keep it from you. She knew how busy you were and didn't want to interrupt your work.
Sweet Jesus!
She fought hard. She put up a good fight. But in the end, there's simply nothing we can do. I'm sorry, son.
What? Did she leave any final words?
As a matter of fact, she did.
Well, what were they?
It was one single solitary word.
Well, what was it, please?
All right. Are you listening?
Yeah.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
All right. Here is her final word.
Alan. I hate this dare!
We knew what the joke was. The problem is if you build up the joke and it's completely expected, and then you understand what the joke is after 10 seconds, and then you're like, okay, go for it. Well, actually, he was doing the Alan joke like a bunch of times. Then he's like, my mom's sick in the hospital, and you're like, okay, I know what this is. He's going to say Alan. But then Doug builds up the joke for another 2 minutes, and then it's like, Alan! And it's like, wow, what a shocker. I just heard this joke 6,000 fucking times, and then you gave us a 3 fucking minute build-up just to do the exact same fucking joke. I was enraged by that shit, but otherwise it was basically just the same ass shit as before. It was otherwise fine.
Next up we have After Earth. As Doug likes to do, he shits on Shyamalan. Shyamalan becomes a character in this one, where the villain guy from season 1 of The Legend of Korra is M. Night Shyamalan.
I'm really...
Shyamalan.
Aw, damn it, am I really so predictable?
This is like the 4th time they've
For
used
some
him.
reason, it is. I was just...
But yes.
that recurring character becomes a lot more recurring because he talks about Avatar and Shyamalan quite a few times in this season. Also, out of all the complaints you could make about Shyamalan, mostly that he's a poor storyteller who just like predicates everything on twists, Doug spends, anytime he brings up Shyamalan, he's just like, he's so pretentious because he uses panning shots. It's like, Doug, you went to fucking film school, you know why people use panning shots. It's not pretentious to use a fucking panning shot.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of bizarre. Next is top 11 worst Avatar episodes. My issue with this is Doug was so afraid of the haters that he's like, remember, these episodes aren't bad. They're just the worst. Which is a fine opinion to have, but he just like prefaces it the whole time. The whole skit is like, the fans are gonna kill me. But if he just said, I don't really hate the Avatar show, but these are just the episodes I think need improvement or something, then he made the list, it would have been fine. But instead he has to make this huge fucking skit out of it. He has to preface after every episode, he's like, I truthfully really like this episode, it's just not one of the best. And I'm like, then why make a fucking list? The only reason he made this list is because he had Dante Bosco, who was about to show up in the next episode for the best 11.
Needed a kill a week.
And he needed a fucking preface. He needed a reason for that to happen. So, or like for him to come and be mad or whatever. So, it really just felt like it was bullshit to make for the lore, really.
Next up is Sleepy Hollow secretly brilliant? I thought this one was fairly interesting. He draws some comparisons between Sleepy Hollow, the Johnny Depp one, Tim Burton one, and Hammer Films, which is kind of an interesting comparison that I'm sure most people aren't going to think about. Other than that, it's just another one of his video essays.
Yeah. See, the video essays scored really well last time because it felt like Doug had ideas for the video essays.
And now it feels like
feels like he just needs an episode. So the next one is Eyes Wide Shut just artsy?
And it was originally called Just Artsy Porn, but you can't say that on YouTube.
Yeah, Doug tries to be pretentious about stuff, and at the end he goes to an orgy because Eyes Wide Shut is a movie about Tom Cruise going to an orgy, so...
Either way, I know what I'm doing tonight. I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to.
He doesn't actually go to an orgy. He's just like, I'm gonna go to an orgy. Or, God, I don't know, fucking whatever.
Next up, is there another good Shyamalan movie? He talks about Unbreakable, a movie he seems to genuinely kind of like, and it's nice.
Next is, does American Beauty still hold up? This is like the same shit as the Eyes Wide Shut, basically. He talks about how it relates to people, and he talks about it, how artsy it is, and how he... I have nothing to say. Fuck it.
Is Juno any damn good? He talks about how Juno was kind of good, but kind of a fad, and that's it.
Yeah, man, pretty accurate. But it also feels kind of late because Juno's from like 2007. Might have made a hot take like a year or two earlier on it, but at this point, like Juno was popular when it came out, and then everybody immediately was like, "Oh, it's kind of like it's a product of its time, dude." I watched Juno like less than a year ago. I'm like, this is literally like this product is very much of its time. Next is the Tree of Life full of shit? He doesn't even talk about the fucking Tree of Life in this movie.
Yeah,
he does for like 2 seconds. He's like, is the Tree of Life bad? Well, everybody has a view on pretentious movies. Some people like them and some people don't. Like, okay, so here's the problem with your title.
Tree of Life was just a hot topic at the time.
You don't talk about Tree of Life. It was just a hot topic, so you're going to clickbait it. Second off, you don't tell us if you think it's good or not. You don't even really tell us if he thinks pretentious films are good. He just says some people like pretentious films and some people don't. And that's just the way it is. It's like, don't set up your video as a rhetorical question like you're going to answer it. And then dodge the fucking question. Out of the 10-minute runtime, talk about the question for like 30 seconds, but not really talk about the question too. Yeah, that video was pretty weak just based on the title alone.
So the next one is a new series. Every single episode of this series is put in a block.
Because they're all bad.
Because they're all bad, the same and generic. It's the What You Never Knew series. And everyone is basically, Doug will be like, in the background of this shot, you can see famous character actor from the 50s, some guy. Next one. And then sometimes he'll just explain really obvious jokes.
Sometimes he'll just mention tiny things. There's parts where he just kind of makes shit up, like well, we'll talk about it later.
He basically just runs through the IMDb trivia list.
Basically.
And these are all very close together with only minor variances. So with that preface out of the way, the first one is What You Never Knew About Roger Rabbit, which is a little more interesting because that movie has a little bit of interesting trivia.
Yeah, it actually does have a lot of like little hidden pieces, and it doesn't just feel like eye-rolly.
I believe this was also the first one?
Batman was the first one. I think
You're
this is
right.
the second or third. I think it was Batman Ghostbusters Roger Rabbit, but I might be wrong. Something like that. Next is What You Never Knew About Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. This one was another interesting one, for the most part, but there is one part where Doug says they just smashed a hotel room, but at least they had the courtesy to use a turn signal. And that was one of the fun facts. I'm like, okay, so the guy who stunt driver put on his turn signal.
You ever notice that even though they crash into a hotel room and leave without telling anybody, they're still polite enough to put their turn signal on?
Probably something the directors didn't even notice. They're not probably like sitting there snickering like, oh, look at all the courtesy he has to use his fucking turn signal. I think it was just like a fucking something that happened and they filmed it.
They turned onto a real road.
Right, so they probably, the stunt was probably fucking smash the building, turn onto a real road, but it was probably blocked off, but whatever. The other thing I want to mention is this is kind of set up a fucking Cinema Sins style, and Cinema Sins showed up in that Christmas Story 2 review we forgot to mention.
Oh yeah.
For like a quarter of a second.
Yeah.
But Doug kind of like adopts the Cinema Sins like bell ring,
Yeah,
the
he
little
does.
ding thing. And this whole series kind of has that CinemaSins feel where Doug like talks fast. He's like, if you look here, he uses his turn signal. Ding! If you look here, he swears. Ding! If you look here, this guy played fucking the little Chinese man from the fucking Father Bachelor in the 1950s show, the little fucking Fu Manchu motherfucker manservant, Uncle Tom of Asians. Ding!
Okay.
I don't know why I brought that up. I don't think anyone knows who Father Bachelor is. I probably just sounded like fucking racist nonsense.
I've seen you've talked to me about Father Bachelor, but anyway.
Yeah, Father Bachelor, he has this little fucking, this is a little off topic, but I just want to talk about it. He has this little fucking Fu Manchu fucking character who like follows him around. He's like, oh, me no speak English. And then he's like, wow, I'm a dad, but my wife's dead or something, or his sister died or something, and he took the kid. I don't know what the fuck happened. He has a little fucking child, but he's a bachelor, and it's the 50s. And for some reason, he like has a girlfriend or something. So he's not really that much of a bachelor because he has this girlfriend the whole time. But then he still lives with the fucking Chinese guy. So, okay, moving on.
Anyway, next up is top 11 things you never noticed about Ghostbusters. This was actually the first one. It was originally a top 11 list, and I guess it was well received, so he just spun it off into its own thing. He doesn't really point out anything that interesting in this one. So yeah.
Next is What You Never Knew About Hot Fuzz. Talks about Hot Fuzz.
What you never knew about Christmas Vacation. I don't like Christmas Vacation.
I've seen it too many
I've
times.
seen it too
I
many
noticed
fucking
all those
times.
damn jokes, Doug. Not jokes, whatever. Facts. Next is What You Never Knew About Batman. And we described this as this whole series is meh. And I'm pretty sure this was the second episode, so it was kind of impressive that we called it out right then.
What you never knew about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Nah.
What You Never Knew About Gremlins. Moving on.
Okay, so next up, we're finally done with that. Next up is When Is Something So Bad It's Good? This video essay is weird, because Doug is like, some things are bad, and some things are bad but still good. And the difference is if they tried, and it's like 15 minutes long, and it could have been like 12 seconds.
Alright, when is a movie just a movie? Who knows what Doug was going for?
I have
with this.
literally no idea what the fuck he was talking about.
There are like several videos where Doug's like, especially with the video essays, it's like Doug's like, I'm gonna come up with an idea, he comes up with the title, and he's like, I just gotta write 10 minutes, and he just rambles on in the Microsoft Word for 10 minutes with no, he has a thesis, he just doesn't really stick to it. He rambles on for 10 minutes, then puts it
When
out
is a
there,
movie
and
just
shit
a movie
like
is
this
one of
comes
the
out.
most incomprehensible videos I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I
we literally just sat there and we're like,
I
what the
literally
fuck
have
was this?
no idea what the point was. I don't know what he was trying to get at at all. He just talks for 10 minutes and says the word movie a couple times. Number 41 is Why Do We Love Stupid? Doug says people getting boo-boos is funny.
Yeah. Okay, top 11 strangest couples yet. The problem with this video is everyone is the same. And he fluffs each one with like it'll be like, number 9, Hal and Lois. Hal and Lois are in love, but Lois yells at Hal.
And Hal is too
But
nice.
secretly they love each other, and that's what really matters. And then he's like, number 9, Roger Rabbit and Jessica Rabbit. Jessica Rabbit's hot, but and Roger Rabbit, he's like
Shrek and
a
Fiona.
silly bunny, but they love each other a lot. And that's the entire fucking video. And it's just like he says the same fucking shit for 30 minutes. It's like it's gotta be 30 minutes. He just describes the two characters' relationships in like a sentence. So like Shrek and Fiona. At first, Fiona wasn't an ogre, but then she becomes an ogre. But they're really in love. And it's like, it's really, do I have to sit here for 30 fucking minutes while you say the same shit over and over and fucking over again?
Alright. Now we're crashing into the shit zone.
Yeah.
This is the real bad stuff. Number 43 is the top 11 good things from the Star Wars prequels, because he has good in all caps.
Yeah.
Doug has some shit fucking takes in this one. He talks about how cool it is that that Yoda has a little mini baby lightsaber and
Well,
just
he's
flips.
like, I hate that idea. But then I actually really like it.
Number 9. Yoda kicking ass.
Yeah, it's like, it's a horrible idea. But then you see it in motion, and it's like, wow, that little guy's doing tons of flips. It's like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And then...
It's a pretty brain dead take, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's like, the action's really cool. I like the fight scenes. He also...
Fighting and action.
He also
is very
repeats
cool to
that
watch.
fucking horrible Star Wars meme where he's like, Hayden Christensen's actually a really good actor. In all those movies he's in, like Little Italy and Jumper.
And the Star Wars 2 and 3.
I don't know where people get the idea that Hayden Christensen is a good actor. He's been in 3 fucking movies. Well, I mean, 4. But 2 of them are Star Wars. The
Most
other
of them
one's
he
Jumper
says-
and Little Italy.
Most of them he says, oh, I'm a mannequin, and then he like swings a lightsaber. Then he's like, I am really sad. And that's pretty much all he fucking does. He's not a good actor. Fuck that idea. If anything, the argument should be Hayden Christensen's a serviceable actor. Like, he gets the job done. If he wasn't handsome, he probably would have just been like a background extra. And then now Hayden Christensen just works on the fucking farm. He's like, I've had my fun days. Now I'm gonna act in a religious movie once every 4 years and live on the fucking farm. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a nice life. Why
Yeah,
not?
fuck it, dude. I'd buy a farm if I had those fucking Star Wars prequel money. Keep away from everybody. Next, we have the Princess Diaries 2. Tamara, as the fangirl, hires Malcolm as some sort of hitman to capture Doug, and Doug gets Stockholm Syndrome and starts to fall in love with her, but then he doesn't fall in love with her.
And why doesn't
everything
he
goes
fall in
back to
love with her?
normal.
Because she has the Transformers DVD.
Oh, yeah.
She's got the Michael Bay Transformers movies.
You like the Michael Bay Transformer movies?
Yeah, she
And he's like, how can you like the Transformers? I thought I liked you, but it turns out you like the Transformers movies.
And then Doug actually has the gonads to be like, which one do you like? Acting like the first movie's good. Okay, motherfucker. The first Transformers movie might be the worst one.
Dude.
Kinda. Here's my argument. The other Transformers movies are more concise than Transformers 1.
Transformers 1 is the shortest one.
Transformers 1 has characters for fucking days. The problem is it's the shortest one. You need 6 hours to do it. You got the two military guys. Sam, Michaela, Sam's fucking parents, the 3 hackers, the black hacker, the 5 Autobots, a fucking Sector 7 guy, Monk's brother, Sector 7 fucking janitor from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Sector 7 fucking old Secretary of Defense, that motherfucker that was in Holes. Dude, there's so many goddamn characters in that fucking movie. And you know what Michael Bay opts to do? He says, this character's going to be important for 3 scenes. Oh, they used up their usefulness. They're gone. And then an hour into the movie, when Sam finally becomes more important than saying, oh, I masturbate and have my daddy's great-granddad's glasses. Why do they even fucking bother taking Sam around? He's like, this is my car.
At least
it's my car. Just leave the fucking guy at home.
The first
Why would they do that? Like, if I owned my fucking car was a Transformer, why the fuck does he even care that much to save Bumblebee? Bumblebee gets fucking captured. He had Bumblebee for 1 fucking day, and all he's done is fuck up with his...
got him laid, bro.
No, he got him cock blocked. And then he got him laid because he turned out to be a fucking Transformer. But I guess, like, actually Barricade got him laid more because she wasn't into his weird sexual predator as fucking ideas. So then Barricade comes, and then Bumblebee transforms, and they fight. So because Barricade and Bumblebee fight,
I mean, to be fair,
Kayla gets fucking wet for Sam Witwicky.
To be fair,
fucking Sam's parents, the fucking humping chihuahua.
All the Transformers movies have too many characters.
No, but
think about all the characters that are introduced in Transformers 2.
Dude.
The walking minstrel show.
So I think he's scared. What are we gonna do with this shrimp taco? Just bump a cap in his ass, throw him in the truck, and then nobody gonna know nothing, not me. Yeah, not in my trunk.
Yo, bumper cars, check it out. I'm hearing you, okay? I'm right here, and I can hear you. No one's popping any caps in any asses, okay? I've had a hell of a day.
Why don't you get a haircut with your bitch ass?
Fucking Skids and Mudflap.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. Here is my argument.
Who's the little humping robot that spends
Here's
the whole
my
time
argument,
Megan
though.
5?
The first Transformers movie is a half hour of Transformers, and if you skip to the final fight, which literally looks like Michael Bay's like, oh shit, he tripped and then he pissed all over the negative. He's like, I shot this on film because I'm smart, and he like trips and his cock flies out, and he's like, I gotta pee pee. And then he urinates all over the footage so it looks piss fucking yellow. Like, I don't understand how you could actually color correct the movie so bad. Like, the cinematographer's sitting there, he's like, oh, you know, this was actually a pretty well shot fight scene, despite the fact that I literally just shaked the fucking camera the whole time because I have goddamn Tourette's. And then Michael Bay's like, oh, I'm just gonna fucking he looks at the film, he's like, can I just like borrow this for like a day? And he's like, yeah. And then he just like put like 6 yellow filters on it, fucking urinated on it, smeared his fucking ass cheeks on it, and then he snipped it up so that like each shot is like Bumblebee like halfway punches, and there's the black guy shooting his fucking grenade launcher. Like, what the fuck is happening in that fucking movie? At least Transformers 2, here's the real characters in Transformers 2, because the Transformers aren't fucking real characters. Let's get that straight. At least in the first one, they're like, we have 5. Jazz is there to die. Ironhide's there to make a toy. Ratchet
didn't even get a toy.
Ratchet, even if Ratchet got a fucking toy, I don't fucking know. They were just like 5 is the magic number to make it look like they actually have a chance or something. But Bumblebee is not really a character. Optimus just spews trailer lines. But the thing is, none of the Transformers are characters. That continues on to the second film. Skids and Mudflap are there for comic relief.
No.
I will admit that they're characters in that one. But it's Bumblebee is there to Bumblebee is just as much of a toy as any other Transformer. Optimus Prime's the only
Bumblebee's
one with a
even worse.
character, and all he does is spews fucking one-liners, so it doesn't fucking matter anyways.
You know why Ratchet was in the first one? It was so at the end he could fix Bumblebee's voice box, and they just retconned it.
Right. No, I honestly, the thing I will say that automatically makes the other movies better is at least they were like, okay, hackers, gone, cut them. Most of Sector 7, besides the Monk's tweaker ass brother, cut him. Military general guy, cut him. Military in general is pretty much cut, except the white one would get a couple cameos here and there, because they're like, we can't get a fucking professional Orlando Bloom impersonator without putting him in all of our fucking movies. That's why, it really pisses me off when people say Transformers 1 is good. Because I hate it. And I think it's the worst Transformers. I don't know if it's the worst. I haven't seen the other ones in fucking years, but I watched Transformers 1 recently and it was the biggest dog pile ever. And watched my Why It Sucks Transformers showing it. I had to do slideshow vision because Paramount's a bunch of bastards. Speaking of our fantastic G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra review that got removed because Paramount's a bunch of bitches.
Yeah.
So it's a slideshow, but watch it anyways.
I missed the part where...
Anyways, that was Princess Diaries 2, Doug Walker review.
I missed the part where Snake Eyes does the
fidget spinner. Let's edit that in here. Although this whole video will get taken down. Our channel will get removed.
Next up is Ghost Rider 2. Yes, he does both the Ghost Riders this season.
Oh yeah.
This one features a guest in Mike J.
Goddamn watch it! By God, a British person!
Hello, critic!
Mike J?
And digging into Mike J was more interesting than the rest of this review. Mike J used to be on Channel Awesome and make a show called, Bad Sequels or something, Sinful Sequels, I don't fucking remember. But right before he quit the Sinful Sequels series, he made videos on Suburban Nights and To Boldly Flee, which is funny. But now he's just transitioned his channel from movie reviews into doing food challenges where he's like, I eat nothing but protein shakes for a week straight.
We are going to have a week on apocalypse food.
And then it's just him eating protein shakes for a week straight and they get 150,000 views for some reason. I don't.
That's why you quit reviewing movies, dude. You're like, I joined YouTube to have the integrity to review movies. See, I should have quit reviewing movies and just did my ultimate calling of making SJW Marvel clickbait because I made one video.
You could have been the next Mundane Man.
Dude, I could have been the next Robbie from Star Wars Theory. Hey guys, I have a crazy idea. Vaginas are bad.
You would have been the next Matt
Women
Jarbo.
should be put in the glory holes and forced to be impregnated by me, Robbie of Star Wars Theory. We can dress them up like Ahsoka Tano.
You're literally Matt Jarbo 2.0. Anyway.
I don't even know who fucking Matt Jarbo is.
You don't remember Matt Jarbo?
No.
You see it recommended all the time. He's not important, he doesn't matter.
Star Wars
Anyway.
Robbie here, and I'm just here to say I hate SJWs and I want them to be fucking gassed.
Sometime last season, Doug realized that a lot of his fan base was into My Little Pony. A lot of his fan base was bronies.
Oh god.
So this episode features a character called Ghost Pony Rider.
What? Oh, by the way, look out for the Ghost Pony Rider cameo.
What Ghost Pony Rider? I knew he'd get in there somehow.
Doug couldn't come up with a clever name, so he just said Ghost Pony Rider. Why didn't he just call it Ghost Pony or something?
Ghost Hoofer?
Ghost...
It's better than nothing.
Galloper? I don't know. You can come up with anything and then just show your crappy fucking stolen My Little Pony art.
This isn't the first time he's sold out to bronies. He's made jokes about it before, but...
He starts really selling out to bronies.
Combined on top of the fact that we have some terrible British guy in this one, it's just unbearable. Doug also... I know this is typical of Doug, but he pretty much plays the whole movie in this one. I saw Ghost Rider 2 a long time ago, and he just plays every important scene whole, and then either him or the British guy will just be like, that seems kind of bad. Huh. And it's just like, I don't know if this review counts as transformative.
None of Doug's reviews count.
None of Doug's are.
We're beyond calling Doug's
None of
reviews
Doug's are, but this
transformative.
one is especially not. Also, he makes a joke about Nick Cage wanting to fuck 5-year-olds.
5-year-old boys. He says this. He's doing this bit where like Nick Cage's face was changing into Ghost Rider, and he like paused it and said, "These could all be cartoon characters." He's like, "This cartoon character is Nick Cage wanting to fuck 5-year-old boys." I'm like, nice, dude. Very,
Curvy eyes. Say, is that 5-year-old single?
very nice cartoon character idea, my guy. Next is top 11 best film trailers. He said, "Well, I saw a Watch Mojo list that had the top 10 film trailers, and
He literally says
I
that.
wanted
That's
to
not a
do
joke.
one too, but I picked films that weren't on there." And it seemed like Doug just picked, like, put a film randomizer on and just picked trailers, because most of the trailers he picked, like, it would be like Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. And he'd show the trailer and he's like, "Wow, what a good..." Actually, he didn't really. He'd show, like, random footage from the movie in, like, 2 seconds of the trailer, and he'd be like, "Wow, what a good trailer." Like, this is a fucking normal trailer.
is,
You can
like,
pick any goddamn fucking trailer.
For
and
the
do
Pirates of the
same
Caribbean
thing.
one, he has a lot of bad takes, but for
This-
the Pirates of the Caribbean one, he's like, everyone was really hyped for the next movie, so it barely mattered what was in the trailer.
Dude,
and that's what makes this the top 10 trailer.
The World Trade Center fucking... The World Trade Center fucking Spider-Man trailer. He's like, "This is great, because the World Trade Center." Like, that's not... It's like an okay trailer, but it literally looks piss yellow. Maybe if I saw it in theaters, I would think so, but it looked like Michael Bay's cinematographer made that trailer. His take on Psycho, at least it was like, okay, I could see where your opinion on that Psycho trailer would be good, but kind of dated. The Alien trailer, legitimately good.
Yeah, he's like the Planet of the Apes Marky Mark version trailer looks fucking
Good,
cool.
and it just looks like a generic
It looks
fucking
fucking
ass
terrible.
movie.
I've never seen the Marky Mark's Planet of the Apes, but that trailer had footage from it, and it looked fucking creepy and weird, and I don't know how anyone would be enticed by that trailer. 47 is old versus new Spider-Man movies. The Tamara fangirl gets her first major role in this one, and she plays the role of defending the old Spider-Man movies. And Doug gets the role of defending the new Spider-Man movies, and by new I mean, of course, Amazing Spider-Man, because it was still in Sony's greasy hands at the time.
Yeah, it's like right after Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out.
And you pretty much know from the outset that the Amazing Spider-Man's gonna win because it's the one Doug backs, which makes it a little anticlimactic. But basically at the start, Doug is like, "I think the old Spider-Man movies are cheesy," and then at the end he's like, "I lightened up a little, I think they're kind of fun. But I think the Amazing Spider-Man is far better," and it's like, did you fucking see the Amazing Spider-Man?
See, mark my words, he reviewed all 5 of the Spider-Man movies in this season, this newest season 13, aside from the Tom Holland ones. Mark my fucking words, he's gonna hate the fucking Amazing Spider-Man movies now. If he sticks
I
to
don't
his
know why
gun,
he
he's
wouldn't.
gonna get his fucking asshole penetrated.
Thing
They're bad
is-
fucking movies, but I'll be like, he'll probably be like, "With the passage of time, I hate them completely, but I love the Sam Raimi ones."
The Amazing Spider-Man
'Cause he's a
is-
fucking idiot.
The first Amazing Spider-Man is boring dog shit.
Yes.
And the second Amazing Spider-Man is a fucking mess. That people complained at the time that Spider-Man 3 had too many villains. And fucking
Yeah, but nobody...
Amazing Spider-Man 2 does the same thing but even worse. The
Here's
Rhino's
my
in the movie for
defense.
goddamn 30 seconds.
Here is my defense. I don't hear as much Spider-Man 3 hate as I used to.
I don't
Pre-Amazing
either.
Spider-Man 2. Because everybody hates Amazing Spider-Man 2. I would actually say, I think the first Amazing Spider-Man's worse, because at least Amazing Spider-Man 2 keeps the retard in me, be like, "Oh, that looks kind of cool," for like 2 seconds, where
Yeah, a
Amazing
little
Spider-Man 1, he's like,
Uncle Ben, I just want my chocolate milk. I just want my milky. I just want my milky. I'm only 3 pennies short. Oh no, it's Chad Kroger. Too bad.
I like how they were
I'm sad that Chad Kroger killed my uncle.
I like how they were building up that whole thing where
Dude,
like Peter Parker's parents were spies who got murdered, and they show they spend the first 15 minutes of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 showing him getting killed on a plane, and then the
Never
Amazing
paid
Spider-Man got canceled, so it never pays off.
Nothing pays off. The entire Amazing Spider-Man 2, aside from the movie, which has its own plot, which is about a 30 fucking minute plot about fucking Jamie Foxx and fucking Harry Osborn, and the rest of that movie. Half the plot threads in that fucking movie are like, dude, Amazing Spider-Man 3 through 6, plus the fucking 40 fucking spin-offs, especially Aunt May, which will be incredibly integral to the plot. Those are gonna really pay off Amazing Spider-Man.
The really embarrassing scene in Amazing Spider-Man 2 is that post-credits scene where it's like, they show all the Sinister Six costumes and they're like, it's coming, it's coming. It doesn't.
It's pretty fucking classic, dude. Don't worry, dude. I think I have a... Dude, I'm finally gonna do it. Once fucking... I wish Morbius was coming out this year. We'd be a couple months away. That'd be the perfect time for me to get back into the makeup, dude. Get behind the makeup, dude.
The Joker T Clown.
The Joker T Clown makeup. Alright, next is the top 11 new Halloween classics.
Emphasis on
this,
new.
Emphasis on new. This video fucking makes no sense, dude. Doug... Okay, so Doug doesn't... It's really the top 10. Because he says number 1's Monster Squad, but I'm doing a review of that. But he's 10 in honorable mentions. He talks about Halloween Season of the Witch.
Number 10. Halloween 3, The Season of the Witch.
Which is a movie from like 1983. It's not new, Doug. Like, I would even give him, I gave him like a pass when you're like, oh, Cabin in the Woods. Like, when I think new, like, I will accept like 2000 and beyond. But it's also movies, and he's like, Saw the series.
Number 11. The Saw movies.
Like, that doesn't count. You can't say the series. If you said the first Saw, that makes sense. I think he's like Paranormal Activity series as well. And then he just talks about random movies. He's like, oh, I saw this actual, like, this movie where it's like, it's like a mirror, like a possessed mirror. It's a modern classic. And it's going to be so fucking popular.
He talks about some fucking, I don't even remember the name of the movie.
Number 7. Oculus. Yep, this film is not even a year old, but already it has the makings of a classic.
And there's like an evil mirror, and he's like, this is going to be a long-remembered Halloween classic. I have no fucking idea what that movie is. I've literally never heard of it.
But then in his honorable mentions, he puts The Haunting from there. He says, the original Haunting.
The original Haunting. Pretty well known, so I didn't include it. But classical the same.
Which there's a lot of hauntings, but I think he means the one from 1963 if he's talking about the original. And it begs the question, you know, so maybe the criteria falls out in the honorable mentions, which, you know, is a real hypothetical considering Season of the Witch is in there. I don't know what he considers new. But if The Haunting is in there, the question is, why couldn't that have been Psycho, which came out like 2 years before The Haunting? Or fucking Dracula, which came out like 30 years. Like, what is new? New as compared to since the dawn of humanity?
This list makes no fucking sense. I don't know what new means.
New as in within 50 years of the, you know, halfway beyond... The halfway mark of the 20th century beyond qualifies, but like if you try to do like a 1935, like he's not talking about Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein here. He's talking about fucking Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
And Spooky Mirror Movie.
With the guy who played Robin in Titans, so you really saw how that guy's career went. I only know that because for some reason, like, I get, like, Titans clickbait every day. It's like, are you really, like, clamoring to learn the new news about Titans?
Anyway.
Like, no, dude. I actually click 3 dots, hide fucking... I don't know why I've been getting on so many tangents. I don't even give a fuck. But I always click 3 arrows, hide news about Titans, because I don't give a fuck. I'm never going to subscribe. Do they actually have the audacity to believe I'm going to subscribe to DC fucking Universe? Like, do they actually have the gonads to look me in the fucking eyes? Does Warner Brothers actually
Dude,
have the
nobody's
money to
ever
pay
done.
Google to shill stupid fucking Titans in my newsfeed every day? Whatever.
Alright, now we're in the bottom 3, the real shit. Number 49, number 3 from the bottom, is Alice in Wonderland. This one is a fucking green screen nightmare where Doug goes to Tim Burton land.
Very good. We're looking for the Black Rabbit. If you don't
And now, the rendition with the whimsical choir that can only sing in vowels.
And a bunch of Tim Burton characters show up and he does like, there's a lot of singing. He does a lot of fucking Johnny Depp parodies. He's like, Johnny Depp used to be a good actor, but now he's a fucking weirdo. And Tim Burton used to be a good director, but now he's a fucking weirdo. Tim Burton himself, not himself, but a character, Doug playing Tim Burton, sings a song and then blows up.
I beg pardon, but this doesn't help us.
Everything is shot on a green screen with like terrible MS Paint drawings behind them. Tons of fucking singing. He barely talks about the fucking movie. I don't even know which Alice in Wonderland he's talking about. The fucking Tim Burton one, I guess, obviously, but he doesn't talk about the fucking movie at all. He talks about it for like maybe 10 minutes in this 50-minute monstrosity.
His take isn't even that terrible on the movie, but it's also not new. Like, anyone who watches the Tim Burton fucking Alice in Wonderland movie is just gonna be like, oh, this is like some kind of sequel where she gets amnesia or she doesn't believe what happened or something. I don't really understand how Alice could have possibly forgotten how she fell into another fucking dimension and all sorts of crazy shit happened. And then she comes back and she's like, that was not a fucking dream.
Yeah, like 90% of this review is nothing but skit, and it's painful.
Yeah.
And Tamara guest stars
And
throughout
she
the entire
stabs
thing as
people the whole time.
Psycho Alice, and she just walks around stabbing
At least,
people
I
and
will
stuff.
be fair to... A lot of Tamara's characters are a lot shittier than Rachel's were, and get even less to do. And Rachel's characters were already pretty shit, because Doug doesn't know how to write women, apparently. Not that I blame him. I really don't want to see what monstrosities would come up if Doug attempted to write women. But at least Tamara has more to do in this than most. The only time she really has stuff to do is the fangirl character, but half the time she just shows up and like does like one line. Like, he really didn't bother. He's like, yeah, you get the fangirl character. That's what you are.
At least Tamara gets more to do than Malcolm. Malcolm will be Black Willy Wonka and be like, I'm whimsical and weird, and then he's just not in the rest of the episode, and then Tamara's in 30% of it.
I'm kind of surprised he hired Tamara, because I get he didn't fire Rachel and fucking Malcolm after demo reel because he felt bad for him, but was it really that necessary? Because he's leaning... He has a lot of skits, but a lot of his skits are like the fucking guest actors now, are just a lot more basic, where like season 6 felt like a real marriage of demo reel and Nostalgia Critic. This one feels
now
more
he's
like
backed off at some.
This one feels like his skits from like pre-season 6, but now he just has these other actors to use. They don't feel as terrible though for some reason.
No, I mean
the season certainly is better than a lot of the old stuff, but
outside of the couple monstrosities like Alice in Wonderland, the skits have gotten a lot shorter, which is nice. I would call them rarely funny, but also rarely like intrusive.
Yeah, a lot of the times I kind of just shut my brain off during the skits.
I do genuinely kind of like Malcolm, and Tamara is not awful, although I did prefer Rachel, but the skits can be a hell
Tamara,
of a
the
lot
problem
worse.
is they forced Tamara to be a one-trick pony, where
Yeah.
at least Rachel had more variety or something. That was basically her shtick. I think it's mostly on Doug that I don't like Tamara as much. Otherwise, I don't feel like I'd see much of a difference. And actually, I feel like Tamara and Rachel's direction from Doug and Rob are actually very similar, because, truth be told, literally other than the person portraying the characters, Rachel's characters, Tamara's characters, and fucking Malcolm's characters could all be fucking interchanged. And
Pretty
really
much.
The only difference is the person saying the lines.
If it was female Willy Wonka instead of Black Willy Wonka, what would change? Nothing.
Nothing. I will say I do like how there's this character that shows up. I don't know if it's like the lighting guy for Doug or something. He must do something on the side of Critic because shows up every few videos, and he's literally just Bootsy from Cinemassacre, like back from the grave, but now working for Channel Awesome. Yeah. Bootsy's not dead as far as I know, but they fired him because Mike hates Bootsy. Fuck you, Mike, dude. Bring back Bootsy. Do Bootsy Plays. The 4th best show on Cinemassacre.
Yeah, I miss the old Bootster.
Bootsy fucking beats.
Now we just get terrible shows like Mike and Ryan and
Mike
fucking
and the Fat Squad, the Greasy
the
Squad,
stinky rental reviews. Can you imagine the smell in the rentals review room? I know it's Doug's base, or I know it's
James.
Doug. I know it's James's basement.
Yeah, but James's basement's already old and looks musty. So then you add in like the 12 fat men, and it's just
that's the
awful.
thing. You get down there. Imagine walking down there. There's James and Mike, who are normal-sized human beings. And there's 17 massive, morbidly obese, stinky nerds in, like, size medium fucking shirt, size medium Captain America shirts that are like this. And they're, like, bulging out, and they're like, okay, we're gonna talk about RoboCop 3 today. Imagine the fucking smell.
Yeah, it's probably pretty stinky down there. You know, one of them probably wears Axe body spray, which you think would minimize it, but it probably just makes it worse. Like 5 of them don't shower and just stink like fucking hell, but one of them does Axe body spray, so you like get a thin bale of Axe, but then it hits you with a really terrible smell. You don't know if the Axe makes it better, if it's just a cock tease or something. I don't know. Alright, next is Nostalgia Critic Talks Transformers 4. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to play a series of clips from this video because it's very self-explanatory what's wrong with this video.
Doug feels obligated to continue talking about the Transformers movie because he got big talking about the first one. But he has nothing to say, so he just makes noises
I don't even
and
think
says
he
bullshit.
probably got huge. The Transformers 1 probably got slightly viral, but I don't even... It's clear.
Yeah,
like, that might have been a slight viral hit. I don't know the full history of how Nostalgia Critic got big or what his breakout video was.
Sure,
but it's definitely not what kept his legacy big.
No, certainly
and
not.
he even says these are pretty much just my bum reviews. So he does the bum reviews, but now he does them on... just have the fucking bum character do them. Although it is always a fucking painful surprise to see the bum character show up. It's like,
yeah, he does show
this
up from
fucking
time to time.
relic.
But yeah, here's some clips of the Transformers 4 video because it's.
And if you want to see the film, he does. He has your penis. After a while, you just become concerned. I mean, it's literally the exact same thing. If you were just to grab a baseball bat and go like that, you'd be like, oh, well, that was a strange experience. Huh, I'll do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and at some point, somebody's gonna be concerned for you. They're just gonna be concerned.
And our final one is, are you sick of Let It Go? I don't know how to describe this.
At first it was cute, but now it's a pain in my frostbitten ass.
Look, here's one that's sung by a bird, and here's a kid singing it upside down and backwards.
What's the purpose?
The fetus sings before it's born.
Let it go. Just let me watch my porn.
Doug and Tamara do a duet cover about how annoying it is that everyone does covers of Let It Go. Doug can't sing. Tamara can barely sing.
Well, it's some of their worst singing performance. It is their worst singing performance yet. There have been times where I'm like, okay, you know, it's not the most unlistenable thing ever. Just like I will never be caught dead calling a Nostalgia Critic song good. At least where Doug is, at least not where Doug is singing. But there are times where I'm like, okay, you know, Doug somewhat holds the melody, but he falls absolutely short singing "Let It Go." Tamara was not that good either.
It's a parody song. The whole song is about how annoying Let It Go is. And you're covering Let It Go.
Well, how annoying Let It Go parodies are specifically. That's a major aspect.
Yes,
how
it
everyone parodies it and everyone loves it and it's annoying, but he
He parodies it himself, and it doesn't make it any less annoying. It's still annoying if you do it, Doug. It's annoying if you're self-aware about how fucking annoying it is. It sucks.
And this was a Nostalgia Critic episode for a week. It's no longer on his channel. I assume it's a mixture of DMCA from Disney and just embarrassment. See,
I don't know.
People give a lot of goddamn shit to The Wall, dude. I'm not saying The Wall isn't bad. But people hype up The Wall so fucking much, like Doug hasn't been doing this shit for fucking years, dude. We've sat through like 10 musical reviews. Dude, if I just saw The Wall in solidarity, I probably would think it was the cringiest shit I've ever seen. Now, I've only seen portions and pieces, and I know the music's bad, but I've heard plenty of bad songs from Doug. Dozens. I've heard a new metal song from Doug this season. I've heard his fucking Let It Go parody. I heard 20 songs from Doug last season. Am I really going to be shocked to hear fucking Doug sing another Brick in the Wall while trying to make fun of The Wall? It doesn't matter if there's a little furry shit in here. Fucking Ghost Pony Rider? You really think I'm going to be surprised by The Wall? Like I'm going to sit there with any fucking emotion on my face? I'm going to sit there, watch The Wall, nod my head and be like, well, that belongs on the bottom of the list. We know how this is going to fucking go. And then we'll say, oh my god. I can review The Wall right now. Why would Doug make The Wall? The songs are so cringy. Why would the Slipknot guy do SpongeBob? Why was there furry shit in there?
Despite how much I've hyped up The Wall, truthfully, at this point, I've sat through so many musical episodes that I'm more hyped to see Deadpool 2 again, because I remember Deadpool 2 being hilariously awkward.
Cringy. I have seen Deadpool 2.
With the Black Rick and Morty.
I mean, I'm excited to see The Wall, but honestly, I would be kind of amazed if I think The Wall's the worst Doug episode.
At least we got our...
At this point. Because I've seen Deadpool 2. That's a pretty damn bad episode. I'd have to look back
the Mad Max one's pretty legendary, too.
I would have to look back at the worst episodes so far, like what we consider the worst in each season, to truly determine a worst. But people hyped up The Wall so fucking much. But I think it's because, you know, you had like Anthony Fantano talking it up. All sorts of people were talking up The Wall. People come out that don't understand Doug's Tom Cringery that he always does because they don't watch all of his fucking videos. You know, if you don't understand how Doug truly is, it's hard to fully like embrace
The Wall.
I haven't seen The Wall yet, but I would be amazed if I was surprised, dude. I'm sure I'll think The Wall is terrible, but I saw his fucking Les Miserables video.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched 3.5 hours of To Boldly Flee, and I'm supposed to be shocked by anything that happens at The Wall.
At the end of this, we should rank the best and worst of each season.
Let's do it. We'll pull the episodes. I'm sure I won't remember most of the best episodes. Like
I won't remember most of the best because the best ones are usually just the ones.
I'm more interested just to rank the worst episodes from every season. That's going to be a challenge, so that we can. I guess we might as well, so we can determine the best and worst.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do a little like extra episode after. But then the problem is we're going to keep getting new seasons. But I guess after that there just won't be.
Yeah.
We'll just add those on. We'll just be like, oh, this is actually the new worst episode. When Doug fucking does his fucking rendition of Annie in Black. He's like, Annie, 2015. Unfortunately, Malcolm quit, and I wasn't able to find a new black guy, so...
Well, no. Here's how it'll be. Because Doug needs to shove the racism off on his slaves. So,
he's gonna hire a new
Malcolm
black man.
puts on a wig and a dress and plays Annie. Tamara puts her hair in a bun and puts on blackface, and she's Jamie Foxx. And Doug plays
Wouldn't it make
the white
more
villain
sense
man.
for Malcolm to be Jamie Foxx and
Yes, it would,
and
but
Tamara
that's not
to
how
be
it's
Annie?
gonna go.
Okay.
That's not how it's gonna go. Malcolm is Annie, Tamara's Jamie Foxx, and Doug plays the villain.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's true. Maybe like
Anyway, that was the entirety of season 7 of the Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
So Connor, how would you rank this season compared to the other ones?
Truthfully, this is an interesting season because a lot of the times I feel like I have Doug pinned on what he's gonna do next. That's what I've said always. I'm like, okay, we're gonna be in a rise in quality for a while. And it goes downhill. Truthfully, this is the first time where, like, just between 6 and 7, it seems so routine that it's hard to really pick between 6 and 7. Off the top of my head, I'm gonna have to say I like season 6 better. Just because this one kind of like does more repeat characters. There were repeat characters in 7.
6 was
but 6, but there's a lot of like funny shit in 6 too.
Yeah.
Like Sailor Moon pedophile. Like there's a lot more like ironically funny shit, like the Sailor Moon pedophile thing, which I thought was just fantastic when I found that absolute fucking gem.
Are they really that Ralph the Movie Maker stole from us?
Yeah. I'm so upset. No, actually, that was a good video, dude. Check out Ralph the Movie Maker's rip-off of a video because he took my Sailor Moon pedophile joke like a week after I put it in there. Everyone's probably like, oh god, Ralph, good job watching the whole every Nostalgia Critic ever and finding this epic Sailor Moon pedophile line.
Yeah.
An ass heard about it. But actually, it's good. And I suggested we watch Pop Quiz Hotshot, but Aiden said it's not worth watching, and now that he saw Ralph's video on it, he wants to add that to his fucking lineup.
I do.
So.
I didn't realize what Pop Quiz Hotshot was. I thought it'd be super boring, so I wanted to skip it. And it turns out that it's fucking hilarious.
Yes, and I knew
missed
it would
out.
be fucking hilarious because it's fucking Doug. There's cringe to find everywhere. Dude, if it lasted 10 fucking episodes, dude, Doug, with his personable skills
Yeah, I
in
messed
character as the Nostalgia Critic, has to improv a game show. I even said at the time, that's going to be hilarious. You're like, no, we can't possibly.
To be fair, Ralph only talked about 2 episodes, so we could still
Yes, it's probably going to be
back
horribly awkward, but whatever.
We can still swing back around. Anyway. Yeah, I feel pretty much the same. 6 felt like a nice refresh of the series, where things had really picked up because of the lessons you learned from demo reel. I liked Rachel a bit better than Tamara too, so I'm gonna put this one just under season 6. They're about on the same level of quality, it's just the formula's already getting a little stale at this point, whereas season 6 felt really fresh compared to like season 4 where you'd be like, here's an animated movie no one's heard of from Yugoslavia.
In fairness, I think it was partially because we were baptized in the fire of to boldly flee and fucking, to boldly flee and atop the fourth wall.
Yeah.
So it probably just made like going back to Nostalgia Critic feel kind of good.
Yeah.
Also, demo reel, man, that was a hell of a plot.
Demo reel was a ride. Anyway.
You know. That was season 7. We'll see you next time for season 8. And after season 8, make sure to keep in tune for season 9. And after season 9, season 10, and season 10, 11. And after season 11 is season 12. Then after season 12 is season 13. Then after season 13 is season 14. And we're just going to keep going until the day either us or Doug dies first.